So we think that we have to do our O-levels and select a stream, and we would like to follow our A-levels and thereby select a degree course and as an undergraduate. This is the normal way that everywhere things happening. And once we pass out, we get a job in the same stream. So this is how every time, this is how Sri Lanka works on most of the time. So this might be the conventional path and we follow. So can't we deviate from this? Should the degree course we follow determine our career path?
Assam, to start off with, I would like to say that qualifications could only open doors for you. What happens next is on your own merit. So every achievement in your life, be it your degree, be it starting with A-levels to your degree, maybe promotions at jobs, all that, if all these achievements will only open the next opportunity for you. So you need to prove yourself in all these opportunities, and based on how you perform in each of these opportunities that you get, your career path would be successful. So qualifications would be the hygiene factor, or is the foundation for you to get these opportunities in life. But then how you turn those opportunities into your interest and your betterment is totally up to you. So I'll start off with the conventional path. There's nothing wrong in this conventional path. And at a very young age, maybe when you're doing O-levels or A-levels, if you can actually define your passion and if you can find the stream which suits that passion, it's so much the better, right? And some of you are lucky that you end up realizing that passion at a very young age, and then moving into higher studies and aligning yourself with that passion. But then for some of us, even if you take me as an example, my passion, realizing my passion was a journey, right? I was not very sure when I was doing A-levels what I should do. But then it was crafted in a way, along this journey, I was able to realize my passion in it, and then slowly turn that into a career path as well. So changing the career path even after you do your degree is perfectly okay, right? Now you might have heard something that happens right now around the world. You coin it with the term Great Resignation. You might have heard of Great Recession, Great Depression. So in 2021, there is this term called Great Resignation. People are leaving jobs. They have realized that their passion is not a 9-to-5 job. They are getting into farming. There is a startup boom in the world. Even in Sri Lanka, you see a startup boom. So all this is a result of people realizing, I think the pandemic was an eye-opener for most of us, that life is not just work, but then there are various other passions that you need to realize. And it gave you that time to think, talk to your family. There was a lot of family time during these first and the second waves mainly. And it got you to discuss with your family, realize your actual passions. I know of people who have written books during this time, during the pandemic. So people got into farming, they got into gardening, so people have realized that there are different other passions. I will also give you an example from few people that I have encountered because I lecture at SLIM. I have a student who's doing CIM, who's an engineer, who's into telecommunication engineering. And then there was an MBA student who was a doctor, a medical professional. So when I asked the doctor, why are you doing an MBA? He said, I want to start my own business. I want to set up a hospital, right? I want to move into that commercial aspect of this industry. And then the telecommunication engineer, he works for a large telecommunication company in Sri Lanka. And he has realized, look, for me to become a chief marketing officer or a chief executive officer, merely being an engineer is not going to help me. I need to diverse my skills, right? So it all depends on the plan that you have. So it's very important at this stage because most of you are undergraduates, to figure out that blueprint for you, right? So that blueprint will determine what really interests you, what are your passions, and then what happens is you keep on adding your qualifications based on that blueprint. So you have certain milestones that you want to pass in your career and in your life. To suit those milestones, you would be adding other qualifications. If you have done a degree in management, okay, I want to move into digital marketing. Now, digital marketing, as we all know, is something, a skill that we should possess in whatever job we do. So then diverse yourself into learning a new skill, right? Because right now it's not specializing in one area, but being diversely qualified into other areas is what really matters, right? So I will tell you now, sometimes I will talk about this later as well. You asked about the career path, right? So we all know that there is a very well-defined career path that we're very comfortable with, right? When you join an organization, you become an executive, you join as an executive, then you move up to become a assistant manager, DGM, whatever, and then move to become a CEO or a managing director of a company. That's a very well-defined career path. But today, people are more interested in a career portfolio, right? A career portfolio is, while you do your job, say your 9-to-5 job, you would also want to engage in various other activities that really keeps you happy, right? So there are people who are accountants, they love hiking. So there is no relevance in accounting and hiking. So what they do is they go on hikes, then say they take groups along with them, they start a YouTube channel, become an influencer, and try to monetize this interest of hiking. Now, as I was telling about my story, I had a passion that I realized when I was in, say, grade 12, grade 13, because my mother is a teacher and I love teaching, but I never realized a career out of teaching. Because I joined Haley's when I was 19 years old in 2005. And then from that point onwards, soon after A-levels, I was working for corporates. From Haley's Fabric, moved into Haley's Advantage. Then I left Haley's Advantage and joined Odell PLC. From Odell, I moved to Dankuto Porcelain, and from Dankuto Porcelain, I came back to Haley's Advantage. So I have been in this corporate journey for a long time now, 15 years. So during this time, I realized I have to get into teaching. So when I was 21 years old, I completed CIM, and then I applied for lecturing opportunities, right? So then I got an opportunity in an institute in Kandy. I can remember when I walked into the class, there were only 2 students, and that was banking. The qualification was banking, and I was teaching marketing. So I was very disheartened to see 2 students, and I came out. I spoke to one of the senior lecturers there. He said, 2 students is a great start because you can make any mistakes you want. This is your first lecture. Just go. Don't think about how many students you have. You just go and deliver the lecture, the best of your ability. So that was my start in teaching, and then I moved into SLIM, and then I am a part-time faculty there, and I'm a visiting faculty member in few institutes and universities. So when you can't achieve a career out of it, maybe look at that portfolio, right? So don't have too many things in your portfolio too, then you'll end up doing nothing properly. Really realizing what you're good at and then aligning them into your portfolio would really help. So conventional path is fine. If you can't realize your passion, and if it's a journey that you would realize it when you're 20 years old or 25 years old, 30 years old, that's perfectly okay, right? You know the start of KFC, right? how KFC started and how old the founder was when he started the business. So that's okay. You might realize your passion when you're 70 years old. That's perfectly okay. And the best part of being a human is that we can adopt, right? We can adapt to different situations. We can adapt. We have that innate skill of adapting to different ways of working. Now, see the pandemic. We never thought we'd do webinars and lectures and we would work from home, but then we adapted quite fast. So we have that skill, and I think you should believe in that.